What up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Marie Shadows of the Square Circle Podcast and writer to the Square Circle Society, which is a wrestling newsletter that is an extension of everything that I do. This particular episode of the Square Circle Podcast is a Chit Chat interview series. I have a returning guest. 100 Proof Clark Connors. It's been a whole year since we talked to him last, and this one was fantastic. We get to learn about his new ventures, his new ideas, his new tag team partners, him being in Bullet Club, his thoughts on TJP and Akira, his thoughts on Bullet Club Gold, and more. And we also get into this match right here because this match is happening on June 10th. That's right, this Saturday. So very close call, but thank you for Clark Connors for coming on and talking about this match in particular, where it's two of my favorite teams, Bullet Club and United Empire. I don't know who's going to win. If you guys want to, make sure to leave your comment somewhere down below or follow me on social media, such as @Marie_Shadows on Twitter or my Discord, where it is also another extension of professional wrestling. And you guys get to tell me, who do you think is going to win? Is Bullet Club going to win? Is United Empire going to win? Well, let me know and we'll chat about it. We'll chat about this whole entire interview as well. And without further ado, let's get into the interview. Hey, Clark.
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm doing well. Still sitting in this godforsaken country.
Well, I mean, the fans haven't really been as receptive as you would like. I mean, you get in their faces.
Yeah, well, that's what they get for not cheering for me for a long time, and it's going to be like that for a long time. I like getting booed, so it works for me.
All right. Well, I'm glad that you're here because I have a lot of questions because a whole year has changed from you being the Wild Rhino that I love and then you changing to 100 Proof Clark Connors. My first question is not going to be the obvious question, but what happened to the Rhino pendant? Did you really destroy it with everything else?
Yeah. I mean, I threw it in the fire. It's just for me, it represented a point in my life where that I thought I was doing the right stuff and I was following what I thought was the right decisions in this business, and it's not. I need to be doing this Bullet Club thing, and so I need to get rid of all that Rhino gear. And I kept a couple of things just so I could sell them later because why not, right? Might as well make some money off this stuff.
Right? Because I hear eBay is like popping with like all that kind of stuff. All these fans waiting for wrestlers at airports, waiting to like sign their stuff and sell it. So why not, right?
Yeah, might as well make it my own.
Yeah. My follow-up question to that is, me seeing the whole thing of you throwing away like the LA Dojo stuff, your gear and the Rhino pendant. Do you think that the LA Dojo has failed you at some point?
I think the LA Dojo got what they wanted out of the LA Dojo, but for me personally, you know what? It did the one good thing it did is it brought together me and Alex and Gabe and Carl, and that's enough for me. But as a whole, I think the dojo was a failure for sure, and that's why it's kind of changing the game up over there. They're doing something different with the camps, and that's what happens when I leave. The whole thing falls apart. That's kind of makes sense. That's been my whole career. All right.
All right. So, yeah, it's a little bittersweet, for me and stuff, but I can say with 100% certainty that I am really loving the 100% proof Clark Connors. However, I did not know, or maybe, well, I don't think most of us know. Are you like an alcohol or like a liquor connoisseur?
Um, yeah, I do. I drink a lot. I I try to drink, a little bit every day just for my own personal mental health. I think it's important to keep you sharp and keep you in a certain mindset. I'm by no means a role model, that's for sure. I don't think that kids or anybody should do that, but I'm at a point in my life that I know what makes me feel good, makes me happy. So I do. I drink quite a bit of alcohol.
Yeah, I mean, well, for everyone watching out there, please like drink responsibly, 18 and over, do all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah.
And it's by like individual choice and stuff. So like me on the other hand, like, if you guys ever invited me to the bar or whatever, I'll drink a beer with you guys. Like I'm not like the type to be like, no. I'm mostly a wine girl. That's what I am. But if you guys ever invite me out, like I would have a drink with you guys.
Ah, it's
So
good to know. It's good to know. We'll see. Maybe next time we're around town.
yeah, man, that'll be fun. Also, I am wearing my own Bullet Club shirts to show support. So hopefully, I get some like cool points for that one. Um, so I guess moving on is that like you threw everything away. You wanted to start new, and Bullet Club is the answer that came to what we have now. However, while you were thinking on your journey before you chose a team, was Bullet Club ever on your list, or was there another New Japan Pro Wrestling faction that you wanted to go to first?
No, I never wanted to join a faction in general. If anything, I was going to make my own. But basically, what had happened was when David Finlay, when I saw him attack Jay White and kind of take over Bullet Club, there was something sparked in my head where I was like, this is something that I can join a part of. I don't know if I didn't care if it was Bullet Club or if it was its own thing, but I liked whatever Finley was doing. He's been in a similar situation that I've been in for a long time, where he's been overlooked, and people don't think he's a great wrestler or whatnot when he's phenomenal. And so I decided to jump on that bandwagon, if you will, and because I just think it's easier to join up with someone else who has like-minded ideals. And then I knew that Gabe and Alex and a guy like Dan Maloney now too, like we're like magnetic. We all draw to each other. People with like-minded ideals all draw to each other. So what we are now isn't your traditional Bullet Club. It's new, it's dangerous, it's mean, and so therefore it really isn't what Bullet Club used to be. It was never something I want to join beforehand because they're boring back in the day. They think they're all having fun and being cool. They're a bunch of the biggest nerds I've ever seen in my life. I'm so glad we're changing that for the better.
I'm gonna have to agree. There are many times where I, scroll on the internet and people don't understand what Finley is doing, and I'm like, the plan is laid out in front of us. Like Finley does not hold anything back. He doesn't sugarcoat anything. He's like, this is what it is. This is what we're gonna do, and we're gonna be seeing the results. And we definitely be seeing the results, especially during Best of the Super Juniors of all like tournaments. And by the way, I am glad that you were in Best of the Super Juniors. Like I was rooting for you and rooting for everyone else. But your story in Best of the Super Juniors is kind of interesting. You started out strong, winning, and then like towards the end, sort of like losing. However, in every single one of your backstage promos, you never really thought of yourself as a loser. Were you putting up a guard because you don't want to accept losses?
Um, it's a good question. I don't think so. I'm not going to psychoanalyze myself. What really matters at the end of the day, especially in a tournament like Best of the Super Juniors, there was a point where I realized the reason I was losing, I was getting these quick roll ups. I was taking my time, dicking around, playing my food, and that happens. Losing isn't losing. Losing is the person who's laid out on the mat after the match. Is the person who isn't going to be able to fight that well tomorrow. I'm bringing bodies. That's what Finley said. He said, bring gold or bring bodies. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. If I lose a match, it ain't the biggest thing in the world. So I'm here to make a statement. Bullet Club's about making statements. That's exactly what we're going to do. And that's what I did all Best of the Super Juniors.
So is your focus now on getting revenge on everyone that has a victory over you over in Best of the Super Juniors, just to be like, I have that body count?
Yeah, I mean them, everybody. It doesn't matter. Like I don't have a vindictive personality necessarily. I don't I don't feel like I need to attack Master Watto because he beat me or in the ring. He pinned me. He didn't beat me. He pinned me. And I don't feel like I need to attack all these different people. And it's whoever gets in my way is getting mowed down. Heavyweight, junior heavyweight, doesn't matter. I'm here to take whatever match is thrown in front of me. I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna make a destruction. Destroy everything.
Which I guess we could jump right into the match that we're going to be talking about, which is on this Saturday. It's going to be you with Gato and Dan Maloney, who's brand new to Bullet Club, taking
Yeah.
on another favorite of my team, United Empire, which is Aaron Hinare, TJP, and Akira Francesco. How are you preparing for your match against the United Empire boys?
Same way we always do. We're just gonna go out, go drinking, come in the next day, keep drinking, and beat the shit out of them. That's pretty much it. There's nothing. I already know TJP better than anybody in this business. We've been intertwined since 2019. And Francesco Akira, beat him twice. He's never been a problem for me. I bust him up every time. Um, and me and Dan Maloney together, it's two wolves tearing up anything. You get in the ring with us, it's gonna scare anybody. And then honestly, Gato's just almost there for support. We don't even need him out there. We're just having fun. I just like having Gato out there with us. But and then obviously we got Hanare coming up on the other side as well, and he's a heavyweight, but he's a smaller heavyweight. We're big juniors, so realistically, it's to me, it's about the same size. And so I'm not worried about that whatsoever.
Well, I will say, do not underestimate or count out Hinare for that match. Um, and then, you guys are probably going to win. So that means you guys are going to go out celebrating and drinking in the town.
Oh yeah, duh. Backstage in the town doesn't matter. We're having fun. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see. Um, There is one thing I wanted to ask. During one of your backstage promos, I was just wondering if you were trying to do like Connor math, because you said everybody knows that 4 + 4 equals 100% proof. Do you want to dive into that comment a little bit more?
Well, yeah, that was my attempt to connect to the youths of America. There's a slang phrase that someone had told me. It was 4 + 4 equals, or she's 4 + 4 because she's an eight, or she eight, or some shit. I don't fucking know, dude. Yeah, it was Clark Connor's math. Is all that matters is I went out there and whooped someone's ass, and it's the last time I try to connect with the youths of America and around the world. Yeah, fuck that. Yeah.
You also mentioned one of your backstage comments that you are the number one junior in New Japan Pro Wrestling. When are you going to take on Hiromu?
I don't know. The second I was supposed to. I don't know. I don't know. But the second I get a chance to, I honestly at this point, I'm just waiting for my body count to get high enough, and then just for the powers that be to take notice. That's the best way to do it. You keep taking people out, and then eventually they're gonna give me that shot. And then when that comes, I'm gonna destroy Hiromu. I will destroy Hiromu Takahashi, and I will show everybody exactly why I'm the best junior heavyweight in the entire world.
Yeah, I would just say, I mean, this is just me because sometimes, I like to cut corners if I can. Just go straight for him. He's not expecting it. That's what Bullet Club does.
Yeah.
Bullet Club does things where like people complain about, but it's the right choice. Like if you don't want to wait, you got to go take what's yours.
Well,
That's how I live.
that's smart,
Hmm?
Marie. But you know what? If I was going to do it, why would I tell you I'm about to do it when all these broad people are going to hear about it and tweet on Twitter, tell Hiromu to watch out? No, you got to be thinking. I can't be telling you on an interview what I'm planning on doing or what I'm not planning on doing.
Well, I mean, you obviously didn't, but I told you, so it's all
Oh, there
good.
you go. There you
It's
go.
all good. I just told you as like a maybe,
Mm, okay.
just don't do what I would do. How about that? We can leave it at that. Um, Okay, so let's talk about Dominion because Dominion was a fantastic show from top to bottom. Bullet Club was fantastic, and also my guys United Empire was also fantastic. However, the most shocking thing of the night is that Dan Maloney had turned on United Empire to join up with you, become a new tag team, and then Dan explained a little bit about you guys talking about it. When you first saw Dan come into the Best of Super Juniors, did you think that this is going to be the guy to join us, or was it after your incredible match with him during Best of Super Juniors?
Yeah, well, Dan and I have known each other, a few mutual friends for a while now. I wrestled him when I was a young lion in the UK. And we got on a little bit back then because we're similar people. We're assholes, you know, and that's the best way to put it. We're not great people, and we when I saw him at Best of the Super Juniors at the press conference, we were sat right next to each other, and I just there's an energy between us because someone would go up on the stage and say something stupid, and we would both kind of snicker at it, you know, like a little laugh, and we weren't like snickering we weren't laughing with each other. We were laughing, but we realized, oh fuck, we both think these people are stupid, you know, and but it wasn't like there was a lot of camaraderie. He was still doing his stuff with the United Empire, and I could tell he was in it for himself, which I like. I like he's a killer. But at the same time, anyone who associates with TJ and Akira, that's not my people. So it was cool after our match. Something about the tag match the day before, we just got in each other's faces, and all we wanted was to beat the hell out of each other. And not most people can't understand that. Most normal people, most fans can't understand that. The idea of just wanting to go beat the hell out of someone, and they want to do the same thing because there's a catharsis in that. So after that match, we beat the hell out of each other. And just like he said, he was at a bar, and I had randomly stumbled in the same bar. It was just the two of us. We ran into each other, and there was a moment of tension there. But I pulled up, grabbed a beer. He had a beer. We started talking, and that's where that relationship really spawned from. And we realized that we're basically the same person. We're both kind of nuts, and we're both here to kick ass and really make a name for ourselves. So at that point, the plan was in motion. I called David Finlay up. I said, "Hey, we got someone here that we could really add to the group, you know." And Finlay makes all the decisions, and he gave me the go ahead to talk to him. And then once Dominion actually came about, we took him in the back room. Finlay had a meeting with him, and kind of put the plan in place. So from there, it was game over, and yeah, I'm very excited to see where this goes with us because I think we're going to be the most dangerous tag team in all pro wrestling.
Definitely, you and Dan Maloney will probably run the tag team division, well, the junior tag team division. Even though I could see you guys getting heavyweight and like new the strong tag team titles as well. But let's backtrack for a second because I do notice a pattern that like yes, you and TJP have like fought like forever. It seems like, and then like Akira. If you could dive a little deeper into what your issues are with like TJP and Akira.
I just think TJP, you know, he first of all, he was the one who turned on me, you know, when to join the United Empire. He made me an example. We were our tag team together where things were going fine, and then Will Ospreay gives him one phone call and he decides to better his career. Turns on me and in Dallas. And and that didn't sit well with me. That was when I was trying to really make a name for myself, and he was doing a good enough job helping out. You know, he was helping me learn the game a little bit, and then out of the blue, he just decides to just change it on me. And what that taught me more than anything, though, was this business is all for yourself. You know, that was the greatest lesson TJP could have ever showed me was that you should turn on people. You should figure out what's best for you, do what's best for you. So I just took his advice right back, you know, at Dominion, and we took advantage of it, and I'm so happy I did because you know I've already beaten TJP's ass plenty of times. You know, he's beat me maybe I don't know what the records are, but I know that I'm winning, and I'm definitely winning when it comes to body counts, leaving him laying, and that's the most important thing. So we go back a long time, and he's got his new fresh boy Akira now, and Akira is just like Dan said in his promo backstage. He is a dork. I think he's a geek, and you know he fits in perfectly with TJP. And so he'll listen to whatever TJ says. And all I'm going to say is, Akira, buddy, just be careful because that guy's a snake, and he's a hell of a wrestler. They're both hell of a wrestler, but they're snakes, and I can't wait to just exterminate them. Cut the head off, baby.
That's usually what happens. You cut the head off, and then like everyone else like starts scurrying and stuff. You know, yeah, those are some very choice words, and I could like see it, and I could definitely see it. All right, so we talked about New Japan Pro Wrestling and like TJ and Akira. We'll get back to them in a little bit. But I want to get your thoughts about ever since Jay White got kicked out of the Bullet Club, many fans don't really want to accept that, but I'm going to say it that he got kicked out of the Bullet Club. He's no longer Bullet Club leader. And then he goes over to AEW and creates Bullet Club Gold. What are your thoughts on Bullet Club Gold?
Well, I mean, the fact that it's called Bullet Club Gold means it's not the original. It's some knockoff of something. How they got the rights to how they're using Bullet Club, I don't know. I think it's bullshit. I think it's an offense to what Bullet Club is, and people might say, "Well, they've been in Bullet Club longer than you." It's like, no, they have not. I'm in the real Bullet Club. They are not. They're just making up their own thing over there. And good for Jay White. That's all I got to say. Good for Juice Robinson. They couldn't cut it in New Japan Pro Wrestling, so they had to go over to AEW, and that's it. That's all. That's all I got to say about that. AEW is kind of consistently has worse wrestlers than New Japan Pro Wrestling. New Japan, as much as I don't love the company as it is, we are the best pro wrestlers in the world, and Bullet Club's the top faction in that company, and therefore I am one of the best pro wrestlers in the world, better than Jay White, better than Juice Robinson. Just never had the chance to prove it, and here it is. My chance is coming. So if they want any of the smoke, and then these, and I just saw that they brought in those the ass
The
kids.
Guns, the
Jesus,
Ass Kids.
good God! And so that's good. Please, all four of them versus any four of the War Dogs. Are you kidding me? We're gonna destroy them. We'll mop the floor with them. And like I said, Jay's a great leader and Juice is a veteran. But these two kids, these goofballs, good for them. I don't know what the hell they're doing, but it isn't Bullet Club.
So Forbidden Door 2 is coming up. Can we see the original Bullet Club, David Finley's Bullet Club, show up at Forbidden Door?
I mean, like I said, I'm not going to tell you all of our secrets and our plans, but you don't need a visa to get into Canada. Let's put it that way.
So let's have that tag match, Tony Khan. Like I would love to see Bullet Club versus Bullet Club Gold in AEW
Yeah,
because I have some.
all I'm saying is, hey, Tony Khan, guess who was the best part of Forbidden Door last year? And guess who has friends who are also bad motherfuckers? How about we have a whole thing going on? But like I said, whether Tony Khan wants us there or not, we can go. You know what I mean? We can go. So we'll figure it out.
Just a plane right away. Speaking of your other brethren within Bullet Club, I'm happy that Gabriel Kidd and Alex Coughlin are both in Bullet Club. Obviously that whole conversation was a no-brainer, right? To bring them in. Like, could you give a backstory or anything more on that?
Yeah, no, it was the second that I aligned with Finlay. It was almost like the day I earned Finlay's trust to join the Bullet Club. The first thing I said basically was like, "I'm really happy to be here. And, all right, so let's get Gabe and Alex in this." And he said immediately, "Yep, he's got to prove himself just like you did." And it was obvious, in my opinion, it's the same story for all of them as it is for me. And even if they didn't join Bullet Club, I'll be honest, those are the only people I would give the exception to do whatever they want to do, and obviously Carl as well, or excuse me, Eddie Thorpe as well. Uh, they can do whatever they want to do because those guys are my brothers for life. And now it was just the obvious decision to come on over because we're going to change the world. So I tell them every time we're in the ring together, I say we're changing the world, and we are. So that's how we do it.
I could definitely see it already with what you guys were doing. How difficult or easy was it to gain David Finley's trust?
Well, what he told me was is kind of along the lines of the bring bodies type situation, but he wanted to show that I could cut my ties from the past, just like he did with Jay. His old young lion mate, someone he kind of grew up in this business with. And so he just said, pick a time and prove it. And so they thought there was no time better than busting DKC's head wide open, at Capital Collision. And it just made sense. DKC, was a friend of mine. I still don't mind him as a human, but I mean, it's sacrifices are sacrifices. I mean, I'm sure he doesn't like me anymore. Too bad. But yeah, I took the order seriously, and then right after I did it, I was walking back to my locker, or to the locker room, and David Finlay was on his way out to his match, and he just gave me a look and just nodded at me, and from there, that's all I knew. It was like, all right, well, I'm in this bad boy, you know. And then he called me out to the next match. After his last next match, he won, called me out there, and it was official right there. So that's all there is to it.
Which I really think shocked like the whole wrestling world that you joined. But again, like you said, it's a no brainer, and I totally agree that it definitely was a no brainer. Now that you're working with Gato, what kind of lessons have he been instilling in you, teaching you?
Well, he's a mastermind, you know. Like Finley's the leader, but I always think Gato is the right hand man who whispers in the shoulder and kind of like the like an old sage, you know, for everybody. So if there's like a in like a what's that movie in Lord of the Rings, you know, when the king is kind of like it's like kind of under the
The
spell.
tutelage?
Yeah, well, he's under the spell kind of, and like, and then the dude's whispering in his ear, right? You know, and he's like kind of
Hmm.
giving him ideas and like Game of
Yeah.
Thrones, all that shit, right? Gato's that guy. He's like the guy that you could look back at and be like, ask him for advice because he's been there before, you know. And so it's Finley's decisions, but Gato's been good and to me as well. You know, when I go out there, this whole Super Juniors tour, he wanted to come out with me, and I said, of course, because it's good to have someone out there who's almost my coach, almost my play caller, where you know we're almost having our own interactions. If you watch Gato and I, like I'm beating
Hmm.
someone's ass, but I can ask him sometimes like, hey, should I beat him now or should I keep beating his ass? What do you think? And I'm having fun either way. So it's good for me to get that gauge from someone like him where he's been through it so many big main events. He's the guy who made Jay White so good, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Jay White Jay White, I think, was going through this. If you watch his early matches when he had Gato at his side, he was doing the same thing. He was still being great, but he was learning when to do certain things, or why to do certain things, or maybe to play with your meat because it's okay at this point, you know. So
Hmm.
that's what I'm doing with Gato right now, and it's just a matter of time, you know, until he gets to do the same for all the other boys, and we're gonna really become something special.
Yeah. I also need your thoughts on House of Torture. I need to know like two things. One, your thoughts. The second one, are they still part of Bullet Club? I need some answers.
I don't know. You know what? I all I know is that's David Finlay's decision. That's David
Uh-huh.
Finlay's decision. I I've had my run-ins with Show and all those guys in the past, and I've grown to respect every one of them. You know, I like how they conduct themselves. They have a very unique way of doing it. I don't necessarily see them in David Finlay's version of Bullet Club, but that's not my decision, and that might be something that gets sorted out at a later date. But I don't know, honestly. But I do have respect for them. You know, I think Dick Togo's a fantastic veteran in this business, and Evil show himself to be one of the best wrestlers in the world at when he really tries. And Yujiro's got hot chicks that come out with him too, so that's cool. You know, so yeah, there's
Yeah.
I don't know. I honestly am gonna tell you that I have no idea. It's David. Ask David Finlay.
Eventually, I'll ask David Finlay, because that's been bothering me for a while now. Also, just very quickly, the G1 is coming up, and your Bullet Club brethren is in there as well, meaning Finlay, Gabriel Kidd, and Alex Coughlin. How excited are you for them to be in the G1?
It's a dream come true for me as their friend, as their war dog, as their compatriot. You know, I we've been talking about this for years, right? And because of COVID, because of the fact that the company disrespected us, there's reason after reason after reason that we haven't been in these big tournaments. And the G1 is, for a reason, the best wrestling tournament in the entire world on a yearly basis. And they have always deserved to be in that spot. And now they finally are. And they're going to show the world exactly why they're savages.
I like that answer. All right, so we are winding down to like the last little bit. I will give you the floor to give like your final thoughts for this coming Saturday, June 10th. It's going to be Bullet Club. We have Clark Connors teaming up with Dan Maloney, teaming up with Gato to take on United Empire of Aaron Henare, TJP, and Akira. So yeah, let the fans know what they should expect or anything.
You're about to see An ass whooping of the highest degree when you got Clark Connors and Dan Maloney, and your boy Gato makes three.
Do you also want to put yourself over, or you want to tell the fans to, fuck off?
Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. I think you do the talking for me there.
All right. I am always a fan of yours, Clark. Always, 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 and a fan of Bullet Club. That was like my first actual like club to actually fall in love with the vision that like they were doing, and I'm happy that we get a brand new, fresh Bullet Club with David Finlay at the forefront of that, and then like some fantastic guys leading the way behind them, meaning you, Dan Maloney, Gabriel Kidd and Alex Coughlin, and of course Gato is always going to be Gato, and then you have House of Torture wherever on the side and stuff. But I do want to say thank you so much for joining me again on the Square Circle podcast. And the sky's the limit. Hopefully, Bullet Club comes out victorious on Saturday. I can't pick either one, but I love like both of you guys. I have to like stay down the middle, but no matter what. That's it from the Square Circle podcast. I'm Marie Shadows. You can find Clark all over social media. I'll put like all his links down below if he wants to like be found or whatever. But this is amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for hanging out with both of us here on Twitch. I'll see you guys on the next one. Was that not a too sweet interview with 100 proof Clark Connors? He is totally different. A year can definitely make or break a wrestler within this industry, and it's definitely making Clark Connors part of Bullet Club, living the life, definitely have a damn good tag team partner, and Bullet Club is going to take over the world. Dan Maloney and Clark Connors are going to take over the world as well. And if you guys enjoyed this interview, thank you so much for watching the whole entire thing. Thank you for sending in your comments, your questions, anything that you have on your mind, any thoughts. Again, you can find me on social media at Marie_Shadows. You can click the link down below in the description for any affiliate links that I have, or the Discord, or the newsletter, which is the Square Circle Society. And if you want to follow Clark, you can follow him on Twitter at Clark Connors. You could also follow him on Instagram, type in Clark Connors, he'll pop up. And yeah, because, I talk for him now on his behalf because he said to fuck off for the rest of the fans. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for always supporting the Square Circle podcast, supporting a Chit Chat interview series, supporting the Square Circle Society. And I'll see you guys on the next one.